Welcome to the Divine Drama Channel, where we share and reimagine tales of love, ambition, rivalry, betrayal, and redemption between mythic gods, humans, and heroes of history. My name is Sasha, and I am pleased to be your guide and storyteller through a few of these videos. In today's episode, we recount the epic clash between father and son, Cronus and Zeus, as they fight over the power and control of the cosmos in the most dramatic way possible. Before we begin, let us know where you're watching this from and which heavenly drama we should cover next. And if you like the stories and the way we unpack all the dramatic juicy bits, make sure to subscribe and leave a like for the algorithm to show us love. If you are ready, let the drama unfold. Cronus was the king of the universe, the boss of bosses. But this guy, paranoid doesn't even cover it. He had this prophecy hanging over his head. One of your kids is gonna knock you off the throne. And how does he deal with it? Does he go to therapy? Nah. He says, no kid, no problem, and starts eating his children like they're snack-sized candy bars. That's the level of crazy we're dealing with here. So, Cronus' wife, Rhea, she's watching this guy pop kids like they're Pringles, and she's thinking, this man has lost his damn mind. By the time baby Zeus comes along, she's got a plan. She sneaks the kid out, wraps a rock in a blanket, and hands it over to Cronus. He doesn't even question it, just swallows it whole. Didn't chew, didn't sniff it, nothing. Man probably thought, this one's a little crunchy, but okay. While Cronus is out here snacking on granite, Rhea hides Zeus on Crete. She leaves him with some nymphs and this goat, Amalthea, who's basically the MVP of this whole operation. Zeus is out there, living his best goat milk drinking, rock dodging life, while Cronus is back home, clueless. Now Zeus. Zeus grows up fast. By the time he's a teenager, he's already got that main character vibe. You know the type. He's out there flexing, practicing his big speeches for when he takes down Cronus. One day Gaia, the earth goddess, think of her like the grandma who's been around forever, shows up. She's like, Zeus, baby, it's time. You're gonna be a hero. But first, you got to get your brothers and sisters out of Cronus' stomach. Zeus looks at her like, wait, hold up. They're where? And Gaia just nods like, yeah, all in there. Packed tight, like a godly sardine can. She hands him this potion that's supposed to make Cronus puke them all up. Zeus takes it, grinning like a kid who just found out he gets to skip school to play hero. So Zeus walks into Cronus' throne room, cool as ice. He's disguised as a servant, holding this goblet of magic puke juice. He's all like, mighty Cronus, a drink fit for a king. And Cronus, being the big-headed idiot he is, snatches it and chugs it down. No questions, no second guesses, just gulps it. And that's when things go south. Cronus clutches his stomach, his eyes bugging out like he just ate bad sushi. Next thing you know, boom! Out comes Hades, then Poseidon, Hera, Demeter, and Hestia, all flying out like they just got launched from a godly springboard. Hades hits the ground, dusts himself off, and mutters, well, that sucked. Poseidon's dripping wet for no reason, and Hera's already ready to throw hands. She's pointing at Cronus like, you're gonna regret this, old man. And Zeus is just standing there, smirking like, surprise, dad. Guess who's back? With the whole squad out and ready to rumble, Zeus gathers them up like, alright team, here's the plan. We're gonna take down Cronus, and we're gonna look good doing it. They head to this underground forge where the Cyclopes are making weapons. Now, these Cyclopes, they're like the godly version of Q from James Bond. They hand Zeus a thunderbolt, and you can see the wheels turning in his head like, yeah, I'm gonna be that guy. Hades gets a staff that looks like it's straight out of a heavy metal album cover, and Poseidon picks up a trident so sharp it could probably shave a titan. Hera, meanwhile, just glares, no weapon needed. Her glare alone could take down half the Titan army. Zeus steps forward, holding his shiny new thunderbolt, and says, "All right, let's go overthrow a Titan. Oh, and try not to die." Meanwhile, back at the Titan fortress, Cronus is losing it. He's pacing, yelling at his generals like, "They think they can take me down." "Me?" One of his generals pipes up, all nervous like, boss, they've got thunderbolts now." And Cronus just roars, "So what? I'm Cronus." The Titans start gearing up for war, and let me tell you, it's about to get messy. And that's how it all began. Zeus, his siblings, and a bunch of shiny new weapons, ready to take on Cronus and his army of Titans. The stage is set, the tension's high, and the universe, well, it's about to be shaken up like never before. Zeus and the squad are rolling deep, armed to the teeth with god-tier weapons, ready to throw down with Cronus and his Titan crew. Meanwhile, Cronus is pacing his fortress, mad as hell, probably screaming at his generals like, "Who let the kids out?" The Titans are suiting up for war. We're talking the whole squad: Hyperion, Oceanus, Iapetus, and all those big scary dudes who look like they live at the gym and only eat raw steak. Cronus is out here, hyping them up like some kinda unhinged football coach. They've got thunderbolts, but we have chaos. They've got Poseidon, but we have oceans. One Titan mutters, isn't that the same thing?" Cronus just death stares him into silence. Meanwhile, Zeus and his crew are making their final preparations. Poseidon's practicing with his trident, trying to look intimidating, while Hades is in the corner, casually summoning fire like he's auditioning for America's Got Talent. Hera's already over it, glaring at Zeus like, "You'd better not screw this up." And then it begins, the battle to end all battles. Picture this: the Olympians and Titans meet on a cosmic battlefield that stretches farther than your Wi-Fi range. Lightning cracks the sky, the earth shakes, and Zeus is standing there, front and center, flexing his thunderbolt like he's posing for a magazine cover. Cronus steps forward, scythe in hand, his shadow stretching across the battlefield like some kind of doomsday sundial. He looks at Zeus and says, "You're just a boy with a toy. You think you can take me?" And Zeus just grins, spins the thunderbolt in his hand and says, "Nah, I know I can." Poseidon strikes first. He raises his trident, and boom, a tidal wave bigger than your ex's ego crashes into the Titans. Hyperion barely dodges it, looking like he just realized his gym membership expired. Poseidon's laughing, yelling, "How's that for oceans, huh?" But the Titans aren't going down without a fight. Oceanus steps up, slamming his fist into the ground, and suddenly the battlefield is flooded. It's water versus water, and Poseidon's like, "All right, bet. Let's see who's got the bigger splash." Hades, meanwhile, is doing his thing, which mostly involves opening fiery pits and dragging Titans into them. At one point, he looks over at Hera and says, "This is kind of fun. You should try it." Hera, ever the strategist, doesn't waste her time showing off. She's directing their troops, calling out plays like a divine quarterback. Poseidon, left flank. Zeus, stop showboating and throw the damn thunderbolt. And Zeus is loving every second. He's hurling thunderbolts left and right, lighting up the battlefield like it's New Year's Eve. One hits Iapetus square in the chest, and Zeus shouts, "Bullseye!" Hades rolls his eyes, muttering, "This guy thinks he's in a video game." Cronus steps into the fight, and suddenly it's a whole new level of chaos. He swings his massive scythe, creating shockwaves that send gods and titans flying. One swing cracks a mountain in half. Another nearly takes out Demeter, who's saved at the last second by Hera's quick thinking. Cronus laughs, a deep, bone-chilling sound that makes everyone pause. "You think you can win? I've been ruling this universe since before you could crawl." Zeus looks at him, unbothered, and says, "Yeah, and you've been doing a terrible job. Time for an upgrade." The Olympians regroup, and this time they come at Cronus together. Poseidon hurls his trident, creating a wall of water that traps the Titan King. Hades follows up with a surge of flames, and Demeter, finally in her element, summons vines that wrap around Cronus' legs, holding him in place. Cronus roars, breaking free with brute force, but Zeus is ready. He leaps into the air, thunderbolt in hand, and hurls it with everything he's got. The thunderbolt strikes Cronus in the chest, and the explosion is so massive, it lights up the entire battlefield. Cronus stumbles, his scythe slipping from his grasp. For the first time, the Titan King looks afraid. Cronus collapses, and the battlefield falls silent. The Titans freeze, their leader defeated, and the Olympians stand tall, battered, but victorious. Poseidon looks at Zeus and says, "Did you have to make it so dramatic?" Zeus grins, wiping dirt off his face. "What can I say? I like to put on a show." Hades snorts. "Next time, maybe skip the monologue." Hera steps forward, her gaze cold as she looks down at Cronus. "It's over. You're done." Cronus glares at her, his voice weak but defiant. "This isn't over." Zeus raises his thunderbolt, his expression hardening. "Yeah, it is." The Olympians cast Cronus and his loyal titans into Tartarus, locking them away in chains forged by the Cyclops. The battlefield clears, and the Olympians climb Mount Olympus for the first time, claiming it as their new home. As they stand atop the mountain, looking out over the world, Poseidon says, "So, what now?" Zeus smirks, lightning sparking at his fingertips. Now we rule." Hera crosses her arms, already exasperated. "You mean we rule? Don't get any ideas, Zeus." Zeus winks. "Relax, sis. What's the worst that could happen?" The Olympians are now standing victorious, the world beneath them, and the faint rumble of something dark stirring in the distance. The battle is over, and Cronus is locked away in Tartarus, but anyone who's lived in a big family knows the real drama doesn't end with the fight. It's the aftermath, where the sparks fly. And the Olympians? They're no different. They've just defeated a cosmic tyrant, but now they've got to figure out how to share the throne. And let's just say, Zeus has a few ideas about that. The Olympians are lounging on their newly claimed Mount Olympus, the dust from the battlefield still settling. Poseidon is already complaining, sitting on a rock with his trident resting against his shoulder. "So, Zeus, what's the plan?" "I didn't just flood half the cosmos to end up as your sidekick," said Poseidon. "Sidekick? You? Nah, bro, you're my ocean operations manager. You handle all the water stuff, seas, rivers, kiddie pools. It's all you," replied Zeus. "Kiddie pools? Are you kidding me?" asked Poseidon. "Relax, big guy. You'll get a trident mug for your desk," Zeus grinningly answered. Meanwhile, Hades leans against the pillar, rolling his eyes so hard it's a wonder they don't fall out. Hades then chimed in. "Oh, I see how it is. Poseidon gets the oceans, and what do I get? The leftovers. I bet you're thinking, hey Hades, you can have the underworld. It's dark, creepy, and smells like despair. Perfect for you." Zeus replied, laughing. "Exactly. You're the scary one. Nobody else wants it, so you're doing us all a favor." Hades shakes his head and says, "Wow, thanks for the hand-me-downs, bro. Really feeling the family love." While Poseidon and Hades bicker, Hera steps forward, arms crossed, and her glare sharp enough to cut through marble. "All right, Zeus, enough of your jokes. Let's talk about how we're ruling Olympus. Emphasis on the we." Hera exclaimed. Zeus waves her off, casually spinning his thunderbolt like it's a basketball. Yeah, we. Totally a team effort. But let's be real. Every team needs a captain, and guess who's holding the lightning stick? Replied Zeus. Hera steps closer, her tone dropping to ice cold. Looks at Zeus and says, "Zeus, if you think you're running this place without me, you've got another thing coming. And let me remind you, lightning might be flashy, but strategy wins wars." Demeter chimes in, sitting calmly but clearly unimpressed. While you're all arguing over who gets to sit in the big chair, who's gonna make sure the mortals don't starve. Last I checked, they need food, not thunderbolts. Mount Olympus starts to heat up as everyone starts shouting over each other. Zeus is trying to charm his way into being the boss. Hera's not having it. Poseidon's threatening to flood Mount Olympus. And Hades is muttering about how he got stuck with the dead people gig. Suddenly, a deep rumble shakes the ground. Everyone stops, their bickering replaced by uneasy silence. Was that supposed to happen?" Poseidon asked. Hades smirks, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "Looks like Tartarus didn't get the memo that we won," he replied. Tartarus then starts to grumble, where Cronus and the Titans are imprisoned. Their chains tremble as Cronus glares up toward Olympus, his voice echoing like thunder. "You think this is over? I am eternal. Your reign will crumble, just like mine did," crackled a voice similar to Cronus. Zeus looks around at his siblings, his cocky grin faltering for the first time, and says, "All right, maybe we should have double-checked those locks." Later, Hera pulls Zeus aside, her tone quiet, but serious, then tells him, "You know this isn't just about Cronus. We won the battle, but we're not ready for what comes next. The mortals will worship us, but they'll also fear us. And when they fear us too much, they'll fight back. Power like this always comes with a price, Zeus. Don't let your ego make you blind to that." Zeus smirks, brushing her off with his usual swagger, and replies, "Come on, Hera. I've got this under control. What could possibly go wrong?" Hera doesn't reply, just shakes her head and walks away, leaving Zeus to stand alone on the edge of Olympus, staring out over the world below. Then, to the mortal world, humans are celebrating the defeat of Cronus, building altars to honor their new gods. But in the shadows, whispers of doubt begin to spread. One mortal leans toward another, speaking in hushed tones. "They defeated the Titans, but who will stop them if they turn on us?" said one mortal. "No one can. They're gods. We're nothing to them," replied another. The Olympians stand together at the peak of Mount Olympus, their victory complete, but their unity fragile. Poseidon nudges Hades with his trident and asks Hades, "Think Zeus knows what he's doing?" Hades snorts, "Not a chance, but hey, at least it'll be entertaining to watch him try," said Hades, Zeus raises his thunderbolt, lightning flashing across the sky as he declares, "From this day forward, we are the rulers of Olympus, and together we will reign supreme." As the Olympians simmer in their victory, they look out, revealing the vast cosmos stretching out before them. In the distance, dark clouds gather, a storm brewing, the first sign of the challenges to come. The victory against Cronus was just the beginning. The Olympians have taken the throne, but with great power comes, well, you know the rest. Stay tuned, because the drama's just getting started. And trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next.